was going on because I didn't know this was going on. But today is it's the perfect day. The humidity is low. Okay, we're gonna have good sun, but that keeps the bugs away because the bugs are definitely here. But importantly, I haven't even said what cutting bales, tamishigiri, the practice of cutting, but you need something to cut. This field is filled with, well, these reeds. You could make so many things with these reeds. I've watched so many programs make so many things with these reeds. The only thing I'm making with these reeds is cutting bales. Today will be brought to you by this knife. I feel appropriately, and also I'm in my absolute best dress, but the bugs don't like the white so much. I don't have a scythe. Oh, sad as me. I can forge one, and I've been putting this off to forge one. And I'm like, that's dumb. This is the perfect day, and I want to collect as many reeds as possible. So I won't say this is going to be the most exciting video of all time, but it is definitely going to be the most satisfying because I want to collect enough of these reeds that I can spend the next, technically, until this harvest again, so I don't have to harvest anymore. Well, until next year. And as of that, it means today I can work with this knife, and then I have a year to get ready to carve and forge a new, knife. Because the distance of getting down low and not picking up all of this extra straw, I think is going to be real beneficial to the end part of this. So far in time, it takes me roughly 5 minutes to gather enough for one bale, but I think I can get better with that. Hello. Can I just call you Wally? Hello, golden, Kin. I hope you all are having a good day. I may be surrounded by bugs, but this is the best place for me to be. I get to cut. In the next few weeks, I get to take a sword and slice it properly. I've missed that. Hello, cool Crambit. What other blades do you use? For this, I would rather use a scythe. But for other blades that I use, there's my daily carry. And then there's a plethora at home. I have a lot of knives. A pruning knife is like a folding scythe. That's a fun idea. I think for a farming one, it could be fixed blade, but why not? Why not have it folded as well? That's a good point. Oh, Vladimir. Yeah, you always make good points. It's really fun to know the history of the crambit. Now this is a modern one, of course. The more authentic were smaller. But they also had to deal with tigers. Worst thing that's gonna come out at me is a deer. I love Indonesian crambit. They are beautiful. They are stunning. I'm going to beat that 5-minute record. That's, what are we now? We are at 6 minutes and I've got about 2. I still have a lot to do though. I am cutting grass. Yo, what's up? Cervante. I want to call you Cervante. I hope that's all right. This is for cutting bales. Tatame, I've gotten really hard to find these days and they're expensive. They are so, it's like $20 a bale now. So I'm going to collect a whole bunch of these and then string them all up. 5 strings to make them roughly 48 inches long. So then I can set them on a stand and cut at them with my sword or my knives or whatever I want to test my cutting ability. And I haven't had availability to cutting bales for far too long. So this is just, I can't believe on how excited this is for me. Hello, Soul Design. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. And if I don't make any noise, it's really quiet here. But I'm making a lot of noise. But this knife is so great. That's a waste of time, that movement like a scythe would. But that little bit of curvature, I can cut so many of these reeds with just one stroke. This is just a great design. This was Indonesian, correct? It's nice that wreaths just are everywhere and they're so useful. As I'm cutting these, I think there's so many uses that these could be used for. And I'm just going to cut them again into smaller pieces as many times as possible. I better get back to work. And by holding high up, when I grab a whole bunch of these at the same time and cut right at the bottom, I lose all that chaff, which is going to save me a lot of time in the future. Grab it with a straight grab. It's that. Vladimir, try cut bananas. That would be amazing. Oh, really anything that's natural that you're not going to harm the system. Hello, Grimo Lantern. I like that name. Thank you. Cut a coconut. Cut a coconut. I don't even know if I can get coconuts. I should be able to. Oh, I'd have to go into the city. Ew. But I like it. Okay. Servants. I will look up a raptor claw. Yes, that is my raptor claw. I'm gonna look up how to say your name properly. I feel like I butcher it every time. Grimo Lantern. Did some content with swords. Grimo Lantern, well done. Keep up the swords. You did a content, I'm gonna do an extra content this evening. Very nice. Oh. So once these get back, I'm not even gonna let them dry. I'm gonna bind them as soon as possible, as tight as possible, but with a, how do you describe that? So half of a reef knot, that makes no sense. I'm going to put a bow on the other side. So I'm going to tighten them as much as possible, but then I'm going to have to let them dry and sit out in the sun for a while, which is going to shrink everything, but it'll be much easier to handle moving them all about, because in this form, they're just kind of awkward. The sun is, well, the sun is sun. It's keeping this everything alive, but it's strong. And for a person that likes to stay in the shadows, yeah, but it is so worth it to collect all these. This is what we've done so far. We have collected that much, which is definitely a specific amount of stuff one can have. Okay, Grima Lantern, I get that. When your dojo shut down, but you could still do something at home. You can throw your punches. You can swing that sword. Like 90% of what you do is technically on your own. Sure, the dojo's a great place to experience that training. And I feel I'm sorry, I'm also focusing on mosquitoes. I feel your pain of kind of losing out on that training, but you spent time with those teachers already. You know your stuff. And just keep practicing that. Oh, I'm such a preacher. I apologize, but I know what you're saying. You still can, yeah, okay, thank you. A fellow disc golfer, I see. Like the frisbees? I guess, I like the frisbees. It looks fun. Oh, I just want to cut. We're at, what, 50% power and that much water left. I have to conserve because there's a lot of reeds that need to be taken down. And if I stay still, the mosquitoes find me quite rapidly. But out in the sun, they seem to be leaving me alone. Oh, I wish I knew how to say your name, sir. Best dojo in your mind. Yeah, that is the best. Even at the dojo, you have to have the dojo in your mind. If it's not serious, why would you be going there? It has to have that certain reality. You have to give it that power. And if you don't, well, you can not give it that power. But if you give it that energy, you give it that certainty, you get so much more out of it. The reality can be experienced in a safe zone. Yes. Though I have no clue how to say your name. It's so offensive. Why do I look like a walker from The Walking Dead? That's because I'm dressed in my finest. Is this I did not plan for a live, and I dare not wear black out in the sun. And this is my sun gear, because the bugs stay away from white. They go for the heat, but somehow if I'm dressed in white, it gives me a better chance. And then I can soak this with the, well, the bug repellent, and I don't have to wear that on my skin. So thank you. I'm going to write that in the book of, I was thought to be a walker, and I'm assuming one like the dead ones. Ooh, I did. Thank you. Oh, we're not going to waste any of this. Harvesting to make more cutting, I don't have any cutting bales, to make tamishigiri. Oh, no, that's not what they're called. It's to perform tamishigiri. So I will take roughly a 4-inch section and bind them tightly. And then each week cut a few of them for my own practice with swordsmanship or some other tool. Edward, that I can pronounce. Thank you, Edward. I liked your comment. Yeah, I am mowing in a sense. Oh, I can see why you want to do your lawn if you're mowing just with a scythe. This tool is awesome. Everything, I would like a scythe and something larger, but I can't put off harvesting because I don't have one. Tatami of a sort, that you think you use a tatami mat to roll up, to cut. I'm not going to weave these into mats. That would be awesome, but I don't see really any benefit to me actually cutting them. I could just bind them tighter or find something to core them with, which I'm not too sure what that would be. Well, Tiny, your back can hurt for me then I don't have to, and I can just keep working through. Thank you. 2 brothers, I'm awesome. I don't know how it looks to you, but this is the best place to be, because that means in the future I get to cut with my swords. The simple things. So thank you for the Mitsubishi Shikara. Yeah, for the modern day, for any day, you could update it with anything that your ingredients. The point I was trying to make is you would make them with whatever is around. And I have lots of hammer scale, and I'm sure not using my chili powder for that. That's for me to eat. Crambit. Yep, that is a crambit. I did a video where I stabbed a bunch of things into a desk, and many comments, one of which was, why don't you have a crambit? And I so get it now. These things are just amazing. Are you dying? Yeah, like slowly. It probably won't happen for like another 60, 70 years, but yeah. Is it just the shirt? The shirt makes me look like death warmed over. I've already had the compliment that I look like The Walking Dead. That's the closest. No, I've had celebrity looks like before, but that kind of made my day. It suits this shirt. I'm undercover. Yeah, no one would recognize me here. Except that one stag that goes through here. I'm slowly making friends with that deer. He'll come close, within 100 feet, and he just looks at me like I'm strange, but I've been here as long as he has, so I'm not strange to him. Yes, George, thank you. I am tatami to be able to cut, to make cutting bales. Lots and lots and lots of cutting bales. Grimo Lantern. Thank you. My blacksmithing skills are fun. Oh, I'm just pausing. I love this knife. This knife is great. I've never wanted to wear shin armor more in my life. as it's coming through that other side. I've not gotten close, but I'm close enough to think that to have this as an armored plate would make me just a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, we're just all hanging out in the field. The benefit of us all hanging out in the field is we get to start a new pile. That's enough for one. And you are forced to stand out in the heat with me. Yeah, a scythe would be awesome right now. And to think of all of the tools that I have that can cut, this is the closest thing I have to a scythe. It's doing an amazing job, but to have something of a fair size and maybe even a bit of curvature to it would make everything a lot easier. It is gorgeous. Nice thing is you don't have to feel the heat. I'll just pretend it's cool. Though at times a breeze, well, it does go by. Oh, I have made a scythe for grass, George. I've made many scythes for grass. Sadly, I've sold every single one of them. There's a video, actually, I think just last year, of me waving around a nice one that worked really well for grass. I've seemed to have always had a scythe of my own when I haven't been harvesting. And now that I am harvesting, I have no scythe of my own. Oh, boo-hoo. This thing is absolutely awesome. I was going to bring a knife out, just a regular knife. I think I kind of forgot what this thing was originally for. in cutting these, I get to practice tamishigiri of my own way. This knife I loved, and I really enjoyed the karambits that I saw that had that ergonomic handle. I thought that was such an aesthetic feature. And now that I have it as a knife that I'm using in the field, I don't like it. I don't like it. The ring holds it great for being able to pull around the grass, but I end up pulling my fingers on all of, wow, that's also a really long way of saying I did the ergonomics wrong. However you want to look at that. Yes, the sun is really dangerous. So you lather yourself up with an SPF 60 and you're supposed to do it, well, 60 minutes. And I like to do it every like half an hour. What we've been, oh, I still haven't, ooh, I should really apply again. That's where this wonderful like bronzy color comes from. I am a stylish person when I have to be in the sun. I don't like being in the sun. Ever like a shoge, like a kyoketsu shoge? I have. And I like the idea that that was the scythe too. Yeah, and I sold those. But those would work well. But then the spear point wouldn't let you get as close down to the bottom as, oh no, that's nonsense. Yeah, totally. A shoge would work if we're talking about a kyoketsu shoge. And your name is gone. Oh no, there you are. Shikara. Yeah, that would work really well. Why am I dressed like Al Qaeda? I'm dashing. I did not plan to do a live. This is just too good to pass up. This is me making cutting bales, and I love cutting bales, so it's just kind of a way to share that. It's a rare, I do a lot of strange things, but this is a rare time for me to just get to sit in a field with a nice sharp knife and clean away. Though my fashion choice is most, oh, it's just downright terrible. Yeah, Edward, this is a dangerous knife. As a fighting knife, I think it is a raptor's claw. Either way, it's just, it is disgusting. Like in the best way possible disgusting, because as you receive, any movement just ends up going into a surface that is meant to slice with zero effort. Yeah, this is not a self-defense knife. This is an attack knife. Thank you. Krieger? Yeah. I got to blend in. This is like my city clothes. If I have to go in, I don't want to look like I look. I have to look like, well, like nothing. So this doesn't look like nothing. This looks wrong. But the bugs stay away from me. And that looks right. And I don't have to have the bug repellent. I'm making excuses for dressing like I dress, which is silly. But I don't like bug repellent on my skin. I'd rather just on the cloth. Thank you, George. I will enjoy the harvest. Yeah. It's funny how there's always that evolution. Okay, I guess the evolution, not the spear versus the shield, but how knives evolve and change within their own philosophy. It made me think of the meme, it's almost harvesting season. Thank you, Krieger. Yeah, there is a plane. That was definitely not period. And it's so humid, I can't even see it anymore. Yes, Savant, it is really good training. It makes me want the scythe, but it is excellent just to feel this work and make sure that I can chomp with it for a moment, and it's useless. I get like just a very few, and it takes much more energy than just following the knife's curve. I get a whole, well, bundle each time with little energy. And I think just to add to the whole ensemble here, that I'm dressed in my best whites. I've got my nicest hat on, which is just, well, it's been repaired. And I think just that needs to be added to it. This is marshy, so my feet are, well, they're wet. They're sopping wet. My knees are wet. It just adds to the ambiance, and I'm still having a great time. I'm just imagining that maybe February 6th, I take out a cutting bale and I can go cut tamishigiri. Yes, this is a good one hat. Keeps the sun off. Krieger. Hey, Zavance, are you training with your grappling hook now? How am I going to transport all of this? Yeah, that's fun. It's not that hard. I just have to transport it out to the edge of this field, and then I can come pick it up with a truck. So that's easy. Where I'm going to store it and tie it all up and make an absolute mess for a couple days, that I didn't want to think about first, because if I thought about that, I would have said no to this, because I don't know where I'm putting that. So it's just going to live in the truck for a while. Your English is bad. Well, English is all I've got. So if English is your second language, you seem to be doing a really good job, Edward, like a really good job. I was in Japan and I was just like a monkey pointing at things saying kudasai. Oh my God. Language is tough. Yeah, much better. Oh, better for the back, but there's also the training of being able to carry it all out. There's what were they? I'm going to call them wood collectors of the feudal Japan. I think the sun's starting to have an effect on me. That had this wooden frame that they could go into the woods and collect sticks, that you could fill that whole back place up. It would be fun just for the whole sheer feudal system of it in practice to carry it that distance, because it is a distance. Second harvest. I got a measurement. Oh, that's... smells like cucumber. Tatame work. Highlight. Yeah, no, ask away. What has been asked? It's always worth repeating, and making cutting bales, harvesting bales. So I will be binding these up into roughly like that bundles, wrapping them with string and storing them for cutting. I have a lot more work to do. So admittedly, I'm going to have to end this shortly. So let's talk for a little bit while. Let's move into the shade and talk for a moment. And then I have to go get water and battery power, as this thing is going to die. I don't have to look entirely like Walking Dead figure. It's fun to be in the field, but it's hot. So thank you everyone that joined. It's been fun. I'm going to be out here for, I imagine, a few more hours. But first, sunscreen, water, and battery power. Thanks, everyone.